This week's Haftarah features the song sung by the prophetess Devorah and the military general Barak after a great victory over their oppressors. And it ends with the line, "So may all of your enemies be destroyed," addressing God. And conversely, all of your allies, your friends, those who love you, prayer for their might. And then it follows, immediately after, one line. The land was quiet for 40 years. It sounds like a nice summation. Great military victory, and they brought 40 years of peace. Wonderful. However, maybe I'm just cynical, but there's a lesson to be learned there. We've won this great military victory, and we pray that all of God's enemies will be destroyed, and we pray that all of God's allies will dwell in tranquility. And there might be peace. You can buy peace for a short term. Maybe a long term. Maybe just a medium term, 40 years. But you can't just sit back and assume that it's going to last forever. You always have to be prepared. As much as we pray for peace, we wish for peace, we have to work towards it. We pray that God's enemies will be destroyed. But it doesn't mean Barak didn't pick up his sword and his shield and his spear and his helmet and his bow and arrow. I don't know what equipment he used specifically, but you get the idea. You have to work towards it. And the harder you work, the more you can push it off. The more help you have from God, the longer it can be pushed off. Maybe 40 years of peace. But eventually trouble might just come knocking on the door again. We pray for the final, ultimate peace. But we shouldn't delude ourselves into thinking it is. The situation in our ancestral homeland right now hammers that point home. Unfortunately, you can never be fully certain that something bad won't go down. We hope it won't. We pray it won't. Which is why, while we struggle for peace now, and yes, we should struggle for peace, we have to recognize that it's, unfortunately, likely to be temporary. There's always something else that's going to come up. So we have to keep striving to make the world a better place overall, where we can enjoy the benefits of that lasting peace. And remember, we have to keep praying and asking God to send us that final, singular peace that will last eternity in a world that is entirely like Shabbat. The joys and the tranquility of it lasting forever. I hope we see it soon. I hope I see it in my lifetime. In the meantime, one day at a time, and one day that's coming up is Shabbat, so I will wish you all Shabbat Shalom.